We're about to go through our exam. I'll start with the door. Door handle. Door handle opens, works properly. Our door hinges. Our door hinges. I see no rust, not broken or damaged, working properly. My door glass. My door glass has no chips. It's not broken. My seal. My seal is perfectly fine, intact, one piece. My window does go down. Mine does go up. I'll go ahead and leave it down for the time being. And now we're done with our door test. We'll move on to the engine compartment. We'll start from the passenger side. Here I have my oil filter cap. As I can see, it's not broken or damaged, in place. My transmission dipstick in place, not broken or damaged. I can see this from this angle. I have my serpentine belt. I see that it's not broken or damaged or brittle. It does not have 3/4 of play. My serpentine belt does go through my alternator, my power steering unit, my AC compressor, and my water pump. Now we move to this side, on the driver's side. The driver's side, from this angle, I can see that I have my engine oil dipstick. I can actually pull that up and check my oil level. My radiator hose, it's not broken, brittle, or inflated, perfectly fine. My power steering reservoir cap, it's not broken or damaged, one piece, perfectly fine. My brake reservoir cap, perfectly fine, not broken, brittle, or damaged. My AC coolant reservoir cap, not broken or damaged, perfectly fine. So now we'll go ahead and check our fluid levels. I'll move the bus, and as I can see, I have all my fluids in perfect level. And now we're done with our engine compartment. Our rear mirror, stable, one piece, not broken or damaged. I have a full vision of it, no little stickers. Move on to our suspension components. I have my spring, it's in place, not broken or damaged. My shock, I see that I have no leaks, in place, not damaged. My brake line, my brake hose, not brittle or damaged. I see no leaks. My brake rotor is shiny, not cracked or damaged, one piece, perfectly fine. My brake chamber, my slack adjusters, in place, stable, one piece, not damaged. My wheel, I see no damage, no welds, one piece. My lug nuts, I have all lug nuts tight, secure, no rust around them, perfectly fine. My valve stem, I see that it's not broken or damaged. I do have a cap. If we must check the air on the tire, we must use a what do you call it? Help me out. Huh?
PSI gauge.
Sorry, a PSI gauge. We must use a PSI gauge to check our air on the tire. As you can see, I have full clearance on the tire, no obstruction of the tire. I do have 4/32 of tread on the tire. On the wall of the tire, I see no slashes, no bubbles, no damage whatsoever. Perfectly fine. Move on to my mud flap. I see that it's in stable, one piece, not broken or damaged. Now we move on to the inside of the bus. Our seal, perfectly fine, one piece, no damage. My door glass, no chips, not broken, no little stickers, perfectly fine. My stairwell, I see that it's not broken or damaged, one piece. Move on to the inside. My stairwell handles, my grab handles, perfectly fine, stable, one piece. My fire extinguisher, I see my fire extinguisher has the safety clip, our red tag. It shows that it's labeled, and it is good for 1 year of the date. My fire extinguisher hose, I see that there is no damage, not chipped, not ripped or damaged, perfectly fine. Here I have my fuse box. Perfectly fine, not damaged, no issues whatsoever to it. Our modesty panels, one piece, secure, not damaged. My handle rails, perfectly fine, stable, not damaged. Move on to the inside of the bus. I have 5 emergency exits, a 2 per side, the glass. I'll go ahead and open up the rear before you. As you can see, open fine perfectly. Close it, work fine. My lift gate secured in place, working perfectly fine. Unit, I see no wires hanging, in place, secured, working properly. My courtesy lamps working properly as well. My seatbelt, 5 of each, on there, working perfectly fine. My seatbelt, I have 5 seats, intact, stable, secured. On 4 of the seats, I have tie downs, 4 tie downs per seat. That makes me, I have 20 tie downs per seat. And I see that my bus is clear, clean, secured, and clear of any obstruction. So that concludes the inside of my bus. Now we move on to the body of the bus. The body of the bus, I see there is no damage, no graffiti, no damage to the body of the bus. I have my windows. It's not cracked, chipped, my seals are perfectly fine. Now we move on to my battery box. My battery box, I see no leaking, stable, secured, one piece, working perfectly fine. My body flare, one piece, secured, stable, one piece. My drive shaft, in place, secured, working perfectly fine. My leaf spring, in place, secured, no damage. I do not have 1/4 of damage. If it does so, we must pull the bus out of service. I have my wheel rotor, my wheel rotor, shiny, not cracked, no damage, perfectly fine. I do have 2 inches of space between each tire. I have no obstruction of my tire. My wall of tire, I see no slashes, no bubbles, working perfectly fine. My wheel, I see no welds, no damage, working perfectly fine. My valve stem, it's not broken or damaged. If we must check the air in the tire, we must use a PSI gauge, right? My flare, my mouth flap, secure, in place, stable, secure. Okay. Now that concludes the side of my tire. We'll move on to my lift gate. I'll go ahead and open the door for you. Go ahead and turn it on. We'll go ahead and deploy it. Yeah, turn switch. Go ahead and deploy it. El switch de arriba, el de... Now it's being deployed, I'll go ahead and put it 12 inches from the floor. I'll go ahead and check my seatbelt security. It's working perfectly fine. My arm rails, my handrails, they're stable, working properly, stable, secured in place.
Brake lines, and the frame,
We're installing that?
Run it again. So I'll be like people, drive that, frame.
I also want to add that my lights are working properly, no damage, secured in place. And that concludes my lift. Now we move to the back of the bus. Back of the bus. You see that my bus is level. My courtesy lights are on. They're red in color. My glass, as you can see, my glass has no cracks or chips. No illegal stickers. My seal is working perfectly fine. My right turn signal. My right turn signal is on. Working properly. My tail lights working properly. They're on. You see no body damage to the rear of the bus. my license plate. My license plate secure with a bracket, not moving, secure. My bumper, I see no damage to my bumper from corner to corner. Working properly, stable, secured. My exhaust pipe, I see no rust, no holes, no damage, secured in place. If I go down underneath the bus, I see no wires hanging, no leaks whatsoever. Perfectly fine. That concludes the end of the bus, the rear of the bus. Now we move to the driver's side of the bus. My courtesy lamps, they're on, working properly. My deflectors, working properly. As you can see, no body damage, no graffiti, fine. My windows, no cracks on my windows, no chips, no illegal stickers. My seals are fine, everything's working properly. Move on to my fuel cap. As you can see, my fuel cap's tight. I see no leaks, stable, secured. Move on to the body here at the bottom of the wheel well. My body flare, my rear body flare, in place, secured, in tight, working properly. My drive shaft, working properly, secured, in place. My leaf spring, I see this properly, not damaged or broken. But if I have a quarter of damage, the bus must be removed out of service. My slack adjuster, my brake chambers, in place, secured. My axle seal, in place, not leaking. I have my wheel rotor, shiny, not cracked, in place. I do have 2 inches of space between each tire. My face of the tire, I have no slashes, no bubbles, no damage whatsoever, secure. My valve stem, not damaged, secure. I do have a cap, and if we must check the air in the tire, we must use a PSI gauge. As you can see, my mud flap is secure, in place, stable, secure. And that concludes the tire. Now move here. My mirror secured, in place, stable, full vision, no cracks, no chips, no illegal stickers. Right? Now we're gonna go ahead and do ourselves a brake test. Sorry, from the mirror, we move to front tire. Okay? Front tire, I have a spring here. I have a shock, I see that it's not leaking, secured, in place. My brake lines and my brake hoses, they're not chipped, they're not cracked. I see no leaking, they're stable, secured, in place. My rotor is shiny, not damaged, not broken, in place. Lug nuts, they're in place. I have all of them secured, no rust, properly working, everything's fine. My wheel, I see no damage, I see no welds, but I have 230 seconds of tread on the tire, 430 seconds of tread on the tire. No retreads or recaps. My valve stem in good condition, not broken or damaged. I do have a cap. We must use a PSI gauge to check the air level, to air pressure. And my hub seal, I see that it's not leaking, working properly. My mud flap, in place, secure, working properly. I also have a gearbox. I see that it's not leaking, no damage, in place, secure. Steering linkage secure, no damage. Steering and its components properly in its place, no issues, everything secure. Now we're gonna go ahead and do a brake test on the vehicle. Okay, our brake test. We're gonna go ahead and start off by adjusting our seats. We're putting our seatbelts on. Okay, 2 hands on the steering wheel, and we start. 1, 2, 3. We hold it down, and we start counting. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Okay, now we start our vehicle. Our brake pedal did go ahead and provide us what's that word? Resistance. Our brake pedal did show resistance. Now we go ahead and check our service brakes. We engage our vehicle into drive. Our vehicle did move, so our service brakes are working properly. We did stop. So now we check our parking brakes. We still hold the brake pedal. We engage the parking brakes, and we take our feet off the brake. So our bus is not moving. Our parking brakes are working properly. Okay. Now we move on to the front of our bus. Our windshield. Our windshield has no cracks, no chips, no illegal stickers. I have a full vision of the view. My rear mirror is stable, secure in place, full vision of everything, not cracked or chipped. It's secured perfectly. My passenger rear mirror, I have a full vision, stable, secure, not cracked or damaged, no illegal stickers. Now we move on to the front panel of the bus. Our instrument cluster, our headlights. Our headlights are on. Headlights are on. Our hazard lights are on as well. They're working properly. So now we move on to our gauges. My oil gauge, it's at mid, working properly. It does show that we have a quarter of a gallon of tank. It's working properly. My temperature gauge, it's at mid-range, working properly. Our voltage indicator gauge, working properly. We're at mid voltage, it's working fine. So our shifter gauge working properly. Now we move on to our switches here. Our door switches. Our door opens and closes, working properly. My courtesy light switches on and off, working properly. Our heater in the rear for the passengers, working properly. My lift on. Now we move on to the front AC unit. Move it to the defroster. I feel the defroster working properly. Now we move on to our AC unit. AC, I can feel it, it's going cold, working properly. Our vent as well, we move it to vent option. Working properly, working fine. Now we move on to our AC passenger unit. I can hear it. AC going cold, working properly. Our heater on the passenger side, I'm back, working properly, so it's good. And that concludes our test.